Okay, Mormons, another day, more salt in the wounds. You ready for the pain? I quote from Alma, chapter 3, verses 18 and 19. Huh? I don't recognize that one. Yeah, you don't. Now the Amlicites knew not that they were fulfilling the words of God when they began to put the MAGA hat on their foreheads. Now, obviously, it doesn't say that. It says began to mark themselves in their foreheads. Remember Revelation chapter 13? The mark of the beast, the sign in the forehead? What do you think the Book of Mormon is talking about, guys? Nevertheless, they had come out in open rebellion against God. Therefore, it was expedient that the curse should fall upon the Mormons, them, Amlicites. Now I would that ye should see that they brought upon themselves the curse. Oh, it's not God? No. Mankind brings it upon themselves. And even so doth every man that is cursed bring upon himself his own condemnation. It's you, Mormons. You brought upon this curse upon yourselves. God didn't do it. He just warned you about it. And he used me to warn you about it. But you wouldn't listen. You thought you would be bullies and abusers and put thumbs down on my website videos. You'll show me. You won't curse the church. You won't destroy it. Yes, I've destroyed the church. It's already too late, Mormons. It's done. It's over. You're wallowing in the ashes. And how did I do it? Translation. That's right. I am the one who destroyed the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints by having the gift of translation, something that Mormons believed only existed in the position of president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And down he goes. You got him! I didn't know he could bleed. The man is like iron. The Rocky reference video that I gave to you, that YouTube was throttling my video for during the upload when I had it on there. I take it off, speeds up. Put it on, slows down. What's going on? Anyway, so yes, guys, you were warned about this day. Jeremiah 23, he warned you. He specifically says prophets and bishops. The bishops are the ones who are getting the church out of lots of settlement money for all the abuse and sexual attacks on children and women and men. And Mormons, get out while you can. And yes, the MAGA hat is the mark of the beast. So guess what's happening today? Since you watch Fox News or the Deseret News, you don't have a clue. Today is a special day. It's the day we get ready for indictments. That's right. Before I talk about it, let's go back in time. Moses, he wasn't the leader of the church. Go back and read it. He was a prince of Egypt, born and raised in Egypt, but not the legitimate heir to the throne. Now, there's more to that. I wrote a book on it. I covered it in other videos, my website, etc., etc., etc. Nevertheless, and notwithstanding, so yeah, if Mormons, you're coming to me for the first time, and you're thinking, he's rude, he's got a tone, you missed my video that I did last night. I explain it all. God, taking a piss. You gotta watch the video. The story of Elijah and the priest of Baal. But yeah, Moses is directly appointed to be the successor. Not any of the birthright blessing sons of the house of Israel, of Joseph. They went wicked. The house of Israel went wicked in Egypt. And so God needed to restore the church, the kingdom, and he chose Moses. And so Moses is complaining, oh, I don't know how to do it. Fine, I'll give you Aaron. and the Lord says, go to the elders of Israel, let them know, and they'll go with you to Pharaoh to take back the kingdom. That's what he was doing. He was taking back the kingdom. He wasn't saying, oh, can I go have the piece of land up in Canaan? No! No. Egypt owned Canaan. Pharaoh's not going to give that land up to Moses, who's not the legitimate heir. Promised land, Missouri. It's all owned by the government of the United States. They're not going to give up the land of Missouri to the man claiming to be Moses. Especially he's not the leader of the Mormon church. Oh, there you go. Oh, did you catch that in the story of Moses? Nope. You think that the president of the church is going to be Moses. Nope. Because the president of the church was wicked in the time of Moses, and thus a new Moses was needed to restore the church. Oops. Then you go to Jeremiah 23, and lo and behold, the latter-day Moses is a pattern of the original Moses. You guys got to study your scriptures. You got to quit memorizing scriptures and start actual study. And so then Moses confronts Pharaoh. And this takes time because Pharaoh increases the burden upon the federal workers. Oh, whoops, did I reveal more information about the pattern of the latter days? And forces them into slavery, working for free. Trump's going to do it again, guys. He doesn't care because of the investigation into criminal behavior, criminal activity. Trump is going down unless the Mueller is actually in on it. And I'm concerned that he is, because they're trying to claim, oh, it's policy that we can't indict a sitting president. He's King George. Seriously? Our founding fathers had the Revolutionary War so that we would never again have a sitting president who would dominate the government. And the FBI is saying, oh, we can't indict him, even though he's committing crimes as president and before president, and will continue for the rest of his life committing crimes because we've enabled him. So yeah, I'm concerned the FBI is in on it. But nevertheless, notwithstanding, the FBI is putting on a show and taking down all of the followers. So Cohen and Stone, they got busted for lying to Congress. Oh, so what's going on today? Well, after the midterms, the House needed to redesign the Intelligence Committee. But that was the one committee that the Republicans refused to fill positions in until last week. And why would they withhold members to that committee? And guess what, guys? There's a Mormon in it, Chris Stewart. He's the one that helped put Kavanaugh onto the Supreme Court and helped destroy this nation. Mormon boy ruins the world. Brought upon the curse to the United States. Yes. So finally, the House today will vote to give over $50 transcripts to Mueller, so that Mueller can decide, let's see, these are the facts that we have. These are the guys who claimed that the facts were wrong. Oh, they lied to Congress. We'll take them down too. Guess who's among the list? Remember the final straw for Pharaoh, which caused him to let my people go? The death of the firstborn. That's right, Don Jr. Bum 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 bum. Yep, Don Jr. is going to go down. So, is Trump going to allow it? Will Trump step in and save his family over the United States? Yes, Trump will have to destroy the United States in order to save his son. Does Trump want to do that? Sure he does. That was his intention. I've already told you guys about Steve Bannon, who in August 2016 was interviewed, and in that interview he said, I am a Leninist. Sound familiar to Trump saying, I'm a nationalist? They said they want to destroy the United States. Do you want me to get the quote? Hold on. Stay tuned. I'll be back. Oh, man. I assembled it onto a paper in case I wanted to frame it one day. I have to buy new picture frames because I got all my Egyptian biblical stories on it. Alright, Steve Bannon from the Daily Beast, August 22nd, 2016, as reported by Ronald Radosh. And Steve Bannon said, I'm a Leninist. Shocked, I asked him what he meant. Lenin, he answered, wanted to destroy the state, and that's my goal too. I want to bring everything crashing down and destroy all of today's establishment. What do you think I've been warning you guys about? It was their intention, premeditative intention, to destroy America. That was their campaign. That was their claim. Oh, deep state, yeah. Well, they're the deep state, remember? They are the marshlands of the government. And so Zinke got replaced yesterday, finally. Or, well, Trump appointed somebody. He's still got to go through the Senate for confirmation. But, yeah, Zinke, you remember Zinke, the guy who gave up Bears Ears. And for what? Yeah, you thought for coal, as Governor Herbert said it's not. It's not for coal. No, it turns out it's uranium mining. Unbelievable. You know, the Russians fooled you guys into thinking that Hillary Clinton was involved in Uranium One. And Trump goes and pulls a uranium and Bears Ears stunt on you guys. You guys are being played as fools. It's unbelievable, your ignorance. And thus, the church is in on it. They're the ones causing this. And all of you Mormons are getting played for fools. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, Moses, the claimed originator, author of the 5 books of Moses, is what I'm trying to tell you, the stick of Joseph in Ezekiel 37. There will come the stick of Joseph, and it will be joined with the stick of Judah, the 5 books of Moses, and they will be one. How do you do that? Because the Jews left out the story of Cain and his wife. Well, why do that? They didn't put in Adam and Lilith. Well, what? Huh? They left out stuff? Yes. And thus the stick of Joseph prophecy is that the stick of Joseph will be the full book that should have been the book of Judah. So it's not that the two books are going to be merged together. The stick of Joseph is going to replace the stick of Judah, because the stick of Joseph is full. It is complete. And it explains the missing gaps in the Torah that the Jews are like, oh, well, we need to do a midrash, the Talmud. Yeah, that's what the Talmud was created for, because of all the questions from the Torah. And the Talmud, depending on which one it is, the Babylonian Talmud is far greater in volume than the Jerusalem Talmud. And so, yeah, that's where we get that from. Mormons, you're not getting it, are you? So the plagues of Egypt, are you waiting for all those plagues? Sorry, they're not going to happen exactly the same way. We're not in the Nile. Those plagues are specific to the Nile. Our plagues here in the United States are going to be different. We're going to have hurricanes greater than we've ever seen. Oh yeah, Texas, Houston, or Florida, and Puerto Rico. Huh, interesting, huh? And the cyclone bomb that occurred in 2018 February, I think, around that time, January, February. And then the flooding, remember that? Elko, Nevada, and then north, and all around Salt Lake City. There's a reason why it missed Salt Lake City. It's in Revelation chapter 12. Yeah, the dragon. Water flows from the mouth of the dragon, but doesn't hit Salt Lake City. It's in there, guys. And guess who went to fight the dragon and the flood? With a book signing. That's right, Elko, Nevada. That was me. And yes, there was a sign in the heaven also that corresponded with that event, with that flooding also. And then all the fires that we've been having. All of this were signs for the United States. The polar vortex also was a plague on the United States. These are all the latter-day plagues. Why now? Because the signs have happened. They all correspond together. But no, you've got Mormon boys who have a channel name called Samuel the Lamanite who wants to go on and say, no, the events must happen on the very day of the sign. I refuse to believe. Take astronomy. They aren't ever happening again in the heavens. The signs that we have had, never again. Never. Yes, we're going to have solar eclipses and we're going to have lunar eclipses, but not the signs from Revelation 12. Those were rare and to occur with the signs of the sun and the moon and the stars. Stars, Monson's death day, 10:01 p.m. Guess what was going on in the stars at the tail of the dragon constellation? Oh, exactly. You guys are missing it all because you don't believe. And the prophets aren't telling you. I am. But yeah, I found the sore spot with you guys because it's translation. And so that's what I'm rubbing in. I am the one who has fulfilled Ezekiel 37. Do you know what that means? Let's go to Ezekiel 37 and I'll show you, because there's part that you missed in your scripture mastery, because there's more to that passage of scripture, and thus the sticks were taken out of context. So here we talk about, at first, bones, Valley of Bones, Egypt, Valley of the Kings. Hello? So he's talking about Egypt, and the house of Israel is buried there. What? Kings of Egypt are the house of Israel? What? Already done the videos, already done the books, already done the blog posts. Catch up, Mormons. And so I prophesied, and prophesied, and prophesied, and more bones in the last days they will be resurrected. Huh. Yeah, there's a guy over in China who got fired because he figured out how to prolong human life and replace corrupted DNA strands. Yeah. He just removes the DNA that's defective, and the DNA repairs itself with the corrected DNA strand. Cancer can be cured now, but they fired him. How dare you! You can't act like God. Mankind must suffer. So, yeah. And then here's the sticks in 16. And then dun 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 24. And David. No, his name is not David. I've already gone over that with my Messiah series of videos and blah blah blah. I've done books on it. It's the one who restores the kingdom of David. And the one who shall restore the kingdom of David, the branch, as other passages call him, or twig, either translation, my servant shall be king over them. This is the future. This is now. And they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes. Oh, a restored constitution. And do them. You know, the Constitution was supposed to be the supreme law, not men in political office, not the dominant party, not whatever a judge wants to make as law. And they shall dwell in the land that I shall give. And my servant, the branch, shall be their prince forever. There it is. This guy, around the time of the branches, or the sticks. See, notice, stick. That's what they used, was a branch to roll up the papyrus scrolls. That's what they're talking about with the stick of Joseph. And that's why I told you guys, it's the brass plates. Shall we go to the brass plates? Da, 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 da. Brass plates. And not in kings. Okay, and they were engraven upon plates of brass, contained, and he desired of Laban the records, plates of brass, and kills Laban. Okay, to the elder brethren who are up the walls, and he took them, engraven upon them. Okay, Lehi took the records. Here we go. 1 Nephi chapter 5, verse 8. And Lehi takes the records, plates of brass, search them from the beginning. They did contain the 5 books of Moses, which gave an account of the creation of the world, and also the Adam and Eve, who were our first parents. It's actually Lilith. And they never say in the Book of Mormon that Eve partook of the fruit and fell. Nope, Adam fell that man might be, and that's the ultimatum that Bishop Hammond gave me. Don't you dare publish about the Book of Mormon claiming that Adam fell that man might be. Don't bother coming to church unless you can't drop that video. That was my ultimatum. That's why I'm doing this, Mormons. It's Bishop Hammond's fault. I would never have gone through this. I would have never studied church history. I would have been content with the death of Joseph Smith that Bill Blunt had said he was studying and asked me the question, did Joseph Smith have a gun? Well, yes, my third great grandfather gave it to him, and thus I did the video on Joseph Smith's martyrdom. And that would have been the end of it, Mormons. I would have still been promoting the church. But no, Bishop Hammond threatened me with an ultimatum. Don't say that Adam fell that man might be. How dare you? Don't bother coming to church no more. Okay, nobody threatens me. So I went and studied church history, did my books, Mormon Conundrum, and the coming forth of the Book of Mormon. And yeah, now the church is destroyed. Thank you, Bishop Hammond. You've destroyed the church. So, you're an evil man. You destroyed it. No, I didn't do it. I did not bring upon the curse of the Mormons. The Mormons brought upon themselves the curse. You destroyed it. I just exploited it. But I'm taking responsibility. You can blame me. All right. And also a record of the House of Joseph, right? Right? Because this is the record that was passed down to Laban from Joseph because he's a descendant of Joseph, right? No. Verse 12 in chapter 5 of 1 Nephi says, it contained also a record of the Jews. The stick of Judah? On the stick of Joseph? The brass plates? That's right. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. The brass plates are the fulfillment of the stick of Joseph replacing the stick of Judah. This is all Freemasonic encoding, Mormons. This is not an actual historical book. This was not translated from ancient plates. It was plagiarized, but they put in Freemasonic encoding. That's why Martin Harris burned the 116 pages. He was the money man, but he was assigned by the anti-Masonic movement as a result of William Morgan and that mysterious circumstances around his disappearance, right around the time that Joseph was supposed to be meeting with Nephi at the hill Cumorah. Yeah, Nephi. Joseph never called him Moroni. After he died, the church, Willard Richards specifically, altered Joseph's works and changed Nephi to Moroni. It was Nephi. Joseph was supposed to be meeting Nephi, but instead, William Morgan needed to be secretly removed from Western New York. And so if you guys don't do your church history research, you're never gonna know. I did, thanks to Bishop Hammond. And that's why I'm warning you, Mormons. Because this is about the latter days. This is it. This is what the book is trying to tell you guys about. Joseph tried to do it. Remember, Book of Abraham, Book of Joseph, Papyra? See, here's the papyra that was called the Book of Abraham by Joseph Smith. He didn't finish the translation. There's more to the story. Facsimile number 3. I've translated it. And here's the Book of Joseph, the other papyra. And Joseph called it the Book of Joseph. Oh, the stick of Joseph and the latter day. Did you see what he's trying to do? He thought he was going to do it. He died. So the church has had The Egyptian records, they've had access to them this whole time. And the church has done nothing with the translation. They don't know. They don't have the gift that is supposed to be given to the true leader of God's church. And they don't have it. So if they don't have it, guess what that means? And the church is down for the count. Church isn't true. They don't have the gift of translation. And you Mormons are raging at me when it is the church who is to blame. Unbelievable how evil you Mormons are. You refuse to accept it. So, yeah, those of you who are ex-Mormon or non-Mormon or anything other than active Mormon, and you're like shocked, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? Freemasonic encoding? What are you talking about? What's going on? Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy campers! I've been to the tops of the mountains in Southern California. I got the 5 Peaks Award in Southern California. Yep, I even had an incident with a honeybee as I laid on the rocks to sleep for the night. And if you aren't catching on to the symbolism of any of that, Mormons, Mormons, Mormons. So yeah, Mormons, church ain't true. You need to be waiting for somebody else who can translate the ancient records. That's who you need to wait for. That's your latter-day Moses. Gotta click on that link to the Rocky scene. Takes on the Russian Drago. So yeah, Creed 2 coming out in March on DVD. Alright. So yeah, more salt in the wound, Mormons. You have brought this upon yourselves. You are cursed with a corrupt church because you have brought upon the curse yourselves. The prophets don't have the gifts of leadership. They weren't authorized. Brigham Young, nope, not authorized. Mormon conundrum, it's all right there. Thank you, Bishop Hammond. He's been retired. Now Bishop Cummins is taking his place. And Bishop Cummins also refuses to accept the truth. And is continuing where Bishop Hammond left off. So, unbelievable, Mormons. The evil and the corruption that you guys are doing. You gotta stop. Destruction, guys. That's what happens. Do what is wrong, let the consequences destroy you. Battle for agency in doing what's wrong. Unbelievable, Mormons. Alright, so we're at 35, so. Yeah, I told you, Mormons, I'm going to destroy the church. They participated and gave the orders to take away my kids. But I didn't come after them then. And now they've taken away my second wife. They've crossed the line. They're going down. They are already down. It's over. The church is over with. I have destroyed the church, but it's already the church that destroyed its own self. That's why 13 million members have left. Just stop going. Stop being active. And yeah, the church did it to themselves. They thought that, oh, the gospel topic essays, that should clear things up. That should direct Mormons away from the fake news of truth and evidence. And as a result, now the ex-Mormons and non-Mormon critics, they're all saying, oh, you've admitted that Brigham Young was a racist. You admitted that the church is involved in polygamy, but you're blaming Joseph Smith, and so everybody believes you now, even though you've confessed to lying and deceiving people. And I'm like, guys, no, 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 no. The church is still lying. It wasn't Joseph Smith. It was Brigham Young. Don't take your eye off the shiny keys. Yeah. So, yep, church is done. Nail the final coffin in their coffin. And send them adrift in the sea of fire to be cremated. Alrighty. Okay. It's over, Mormons. When are you going to accept it? When are you going to stop kicking against the pricks? Ooh, wow, another slam by Travis. Yep, you know where that comes from in the New Testament. Somewhere in the New Testament, I believe. If you don't, Mormons, you should know that. That comes from it's the Book of Mormon video that was intended for missionaries, and it was the conversion of the Italian. I will not burn the book, but I would encourage you that you might read the book and learn of its stories. Somewhere in the New Testament, I believe. Maybe it's on YouTube on a channel somewhere. Well, I'll put the link on there. So, yes, the Book of Mormon is Freemasonic encoded to warn us of what the William Morgan tried to warn America, and then had to be secreted out of the country, and then became a banana plantation owner. Go figure. Alrighty.